Tennessee. And how about a big Kentucky welcome to Earl? We understand he couldn't be here in person with us today, but this is a Connect Your Economy conference, so we're checking it out, seeing if it works. It appears to be working pretty well. So I'm going to turn it over to Earl. Just thankful he could make some time to be with us and share a quick message with you. Earl, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you, Darren. It seems that I always have a challenge in terms of getting pipe built in December. It has never worked out very well before. But this is much easier than the last time I couldn't get there. But I really appreciate this opportunity to be here with you this afternoon. You know, I believe that Appalachia is the next great investment opportunity in America. And I say that after almost 7 years of traveling throughout the region to, just about every nook and every cranny, and having had the opportunity to meet really incredible folks. The entrepreneurs, the leaders, the folks with the big ideas, all so incredibly dedicated to work to make the region, make Appalachia a much better place for their kids and their grandkids than there was for themselves. And I make this argument because of the opportunities that are out there, the opportunities that we see that are bubbling up all the time, whether it's related to technology, or healthcare, or energy, environment, manufacturing sector, or local tourism and tourism. The challenge that we have, the challenge really that we all share, is how do we build that ecosystem? How do we build that entrepreneurial ecosystem so that when entrepreneurs collide with opportunities, that their chances of success increase, are greater? What do we need to do to support or to build a system that helps all those businesses that are run out of the back of the trucks or out of the back of the house? How do we support them and help them grow so they become a part of Main Street? How do we help folks that have a passion about whatever it is, to help them monetize it, to help them grow that idea? These aren't big deals. These deals aren't going to have ribbon cuttings or grand openings maybe, but they do add more energy to communities. They do add more vitality. They do add one more reason to stay. And every community in this region is different. And communities have different assets, and communities have different challenges. But it's a lot about connecting the dots and making sure that we don't leave folks out, and that we work and use all of our assets, whether it's a community college or if it's a private college, or if it's a guy with a big crazy idea that we need to help him grow. This is an all-hands-on-deck experience. It's not something that we can leave folks out of, and we need to have them part of it. There are two important things I think we should always remember. And that is, this is not Friday night football. This is not one county against another. As much fun as that is, that just cuts our market in half. This is more about working and cheering and encouraging and hoping the University of Kentucky makes it to the Final Four. It's that energy, it's that type of energy that we always need to bring to the table. And the other thing to remember, I think, is that this game is never over. You may have succeeded with one entrepreneur or one business, but there's so many more that need support and can provide opportunities for growth and employment in Appalachia. From where I sit, I try to look at ARC as an investor. I don't see it as a charity. I don't see it as a government agency. But I see it as an investor who helps communities and helps families grow. And because I'm an investor, I also want to see the United States taxpayer to get a return on investment. I think that's critical to our work. One of the first investments that I was responsible for here was in Western North Carolina. And Western North Carolina went through a situation where they made a lot of money growing tobacco. In fact, when you grow tobacco, you know how much money you're going to make before you even plant the seed. And then it was gone. And then it didn't exist. And one of the things they turned to was raising cattle. And it was hard work. And it was a real challenge because they had to drive the cattle 200 miles in order to sell it. So they would they ended up losing money all the time. ARC helped build a beef market, a cattle market. And that went pretty well for a while. But then they discovered that they sell cattle over the internet. And by connecting their market to the internet, they were able to bring together larger shares and larger pieces of the market and jack up their revenue, jack up their return by some 15%. Broadband really helped them take the next important step. And it wasn't something they had really thought about. It was something they had planned. But it was part of the process of looking to how to take advantage of the assets of the community, take advantage of how marketplaces were changing, and what they could do to take advantage of it. A few years ago, ARC started looking and got a sense that, maybe that this local food thing was more than just a fact, but was in fact part of a marketplace. And we went out and we developed, some of you probably have seen it, I don't know if you can see it here or not, but it's our Bon Appetit map. And the map's a great item, it's a great thing. All of us old guys really like maps. We can open them up, we can read them, we can feel them, we can drive around with them, we can loot. And it had about 150 places throughout Appalachia, talked about them, identifies them, their distilleries and their wineries and the restaurants. Well, when we developed the website for Bon Appetit, we were able to do almost 1,000 sites. So we were able to go and to really grow the activity and the energy from 150, which is really important, but to 1,000, which is much more comprehensive and much more helpful to the community in Appalachia. What we were able to learn and find places like Sugary Bakery in New Albany, Mississippi. A woman by the name of Mary Jennifer sells her red velvet cakes all over the United States because she uses the internet, and she's able to use her access to broadband as a way of expanding her marketplace. It wasn't rocket science, but it was really an aha moment of ways to look at the world, look at your market, and look at your opportunities. A couple of years ago, we also at ARC also developed a cookbook that talks about how to use broadband to expand marketplaces. And it's just a whole series of ideas of, again, not really rocket science, but really the basics of how to use electronic media, how to use social media to expand your footprint and your impression throughout not just Southeast Texas, but throughout the world. Another book that I've been paying attention to recently and been reading is something that a guy named Tom Friedman published it last month, and it's called Thank You for Being Late. Friedman also wrote another book about 10 years ago called The Earl Flat. And what Friedman argues in his new book is that we're living in an age of acceleration. That technology continues to accelerate at this incredible rate. And that marketplaces have gone from analog to digital, and they continue to expand at an accelerated rate. And then Mother Nature is changing at an accelerated rate. And these three events that we're all living every day pose incredible challenges and incredible problems. and we don't have a plan for dealing with them, we're going to run our life. But they also provide us a whole host of new opportunities and new tools that also present us with great opportunities. So the challenge that we have is how to use these tools, how to grasp them, how to take that aha moment and build them for our use, for our future. You know, that phone that you're playing with right now, that you got in your pocket, you're playing with, you know, the computing strength of the phone that you have, that we all have, is greater than the computing strength of the computers that we use to send astronauts to the moon and back. Can you imagine that? This is the thing that we're carrying around in our pocket today. Well, the good news is this. We don't have to use it to get to the moon and back. But we have the opportunity to use it, that computing power, to fulfill the potential of Appalachia being the next great investment opportunity in America. It is so great to be able to talk to you today. Be happy to answer your questions. David and Mark are there. They are have done great work throughout the region. You know, David is a really bright guy who can drive you crazy, but you should listen to his ideas. Because at the end of the day, it'll pay off, believe me. But again, it's great to be with you. Jared, we're happy to answer questions or just talk to you guys further, but to be as helpful as I can. Thank you.
Thanks, Earl. I'll see if you guys got questions. Anybody have any questions for him? And we did make David and Mark get in front of the camera so you can confirm they are here.
I totally gave it in the back.
Mark has the red sweater on. You can't miss
the red sweater. All right. Anybody have any questions for Earl?
Okay. Great.
Wow, that was easy. All right. Thanks so much, Earl. Enjoy your flight home. Thanks. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.